just as promised, I hit my first milestone over about 1,000 subscribers. So I was gonna do a 20 things about me. If you care anything about me and you want to know all my dirty little secrets, please stay tuned.
That girl is a real crowd, please.
Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and if you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I usually upload my travel videos every Monday through Thursday and my free talk videos throughout the weekend. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's get this started. Oh, and I'm also going to be doing a Q&A in like a week or so. So if you have any questions, and please let them be fun and juicy and crazy and silly and sexy, or if it's just simply about travel, please put in your questions in the comment section below, or you can Facebook me, or you can email me, or you can private message me, or whatever you like to do. If you have any questions concerning any of my top 20, that'd be a great place to start, and you can just ask me questions, or I make a separate video about anything that I may say in this top 20 video. So let's get started. So number one, and this is no particular order. Number one, I used to live in an artist commune. Yes, one of those artist hippie communes. It wasn't so hippie. It was more like artist LA swagger commune with a hash of like bumminess to it. I don't know. So yeah, basically it was like two big warehouses that was divided into with a bunch of drywall, and we all had these like literally 10 by 10 foot rooms, and we like made a kitchen and a bathroom and had a tub and a shower and everything. Like this was all like made from scratch. And then we had maybe like two outdoor like single standing like little houses that we built out of, you know, with wood. And then we had a actual office area in the front that we all moved into. I moved in, and me and my BFF moved into later on, like a year or so later. And then we had this little gypsy camper, and I lived in that little gypsy camper for like a whole winter, summer, and nobody wanted it. It was only like $285 a month, and this is LA, so I took it because everybody thought it was going to be too cold for winter, but I put a little heater in there and it was fine. And I decked that little gypsy camper out, and I made it look all gypsy and bohemian, and I loved it. So yes, the point of the artist community was for people who wanted to be artists and make it as artists in LA and didn't really have a lot of money, and we would come together and support each other. And we had a big workshop area where people can borrow each other's tools and stuff like that to make their art. So that aspect, it was really, really cool, but it really was just turned into like a lot of drama. Like, I mean, I can literally make a whole story time video on just the artist community. So much shit happened. It was like just a lot of drama and stuff like that, but I did meet my BFF, so hey girl. Number two, I've gone skinny dipping and I've gone streaking. Skinny dipping was in Koh Phi Phi in Thailand. That was my first time skinny dipping. It wasn't in front of any Thai, so I didn't disrespect anybody, but the water was so beautiful, I could not help it be the first skinny dip experience finally. And streaking I did like a long time ago when I was like in college with my BFF at the time. And so if you haven't done that, do it. And number three, I have been arrested for shoplifting. I was a teenager, and let me say, back in my teen days, I was like a master shoplifter. Like, I had it down to a T. So you might say, if you were a master shoplifter, how did you get arrested? I don't know. Like, if you know anything about my past, like, I had a really bad childhood, and I think, like, subconsciously, I wanted to get caught. Like, I didn't follow any of my rules that day. I literally, like, went to a store, picked up a handful of shit with both hands, and then walked out the door with them. Like, I literally just did that. And so, of course, I got caught, and I got scared straight. Like, I don't think I shoplifted again after that. Like, I was that teenage 15, 16-year-old girl, like, banging on my holding cell, crying, saying, I would never do this again, I'm so sorry. And yeah, so yeah, and you would think like my crazy ass mom, who beat me for like any other little reason, would probably kill me for that. Like, she literally just like barely blinked an eye and told me to go to my room. Anyway, that is number three. Number four, I am left-handed. Yeah. And when I was a kid, it made me seem like I was like weird or unusual, because, you know, like left-handed kids had to get like the green-handed scissors and always had to get like the left hand stuff. And like, you know, my mom tried to like teach me how to write with my right hand, so I wouldn't be left-handed, because for some reason, if you're left-handed, you're a fucking circus freak. But now, you know, if you look into it, left-handed people are the best kind of people. We're artistic and artsy and creative. All my left-handed people, put your hands up. All my left-handed people, put your hands up. All right. So I love my left hand. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, alright, my favorite number. This is gonna sound weird. My favorite number is anything in between. Anything in between, and what that means, if it's 10, and it has to be an even number, I guess, but if it's 10 things, I pick number 5. If it's 6 things, I pick number 3. If it's 20 things, I pick number 10. And I've always been like that since I was like a little kid. For some reason, I always seemed like a good average number to like pick, like, I don't know. So anything in between. If you've been sub to me for a while, you already know some of these things, but just in case you don't know, or you haven't seen that video, or you're new to my channel, some of these things I am going to read off, but you OGs may already know, just to let you know. So anyway, moving on. My sexuality. So some of you might have guessed this. I've dropped like little hints here and there, and I will make a full video on this, and it's not need it, but I will do it anyway because that's what YouTubers do. I am bisexual. Or I might be pansexual. I have been thinking about that lately because bisexual means that, and honestly, like my actual person definition of bisexual is different from the actual definition of bisexual, but I'll talk about that in another video. But bisexual meaning that you can have sexual relationships or you're sexually attracted to both sexes. But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, I don't really know like if I care if the person's transgender or transqueer or whatever. I don't care. Like if we hit it off, we hit it off. I'm mostly attracted to men, but I definitely love the ladies. They are gorgeous and beautiful and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll talk about that in another video. So I guess I'm bisexual or pansexual or whatever sexual, or just like multisexual, or like just whatever floats my boat at the moment sexual. One of those things. Anyway, next. I was born a Muslim. I was born a Muslim I was born a Muslim, Nation of Islam Muslim from Detroit, Michigan. I went to a mosque. I wore a little thing over my head. Not all the time, only when we went to a mosque. Minister Farrakhan was the, I don't know how you say it, pastor? Or the leader of my mosque. I remember it really well, but we stayed Muslim until I was about 11 years old. I remember not understanding much about the religion, but I can say like one of the good things that I've gained from being a Muslim, and I want to make another video about this, is about loving my blackness and loving my history of where we come from, because I was very ingrained in that, and I think it was because my family was really involved in mosque and be Muslim and Kwanzaa and all that stuff. But my mother had to stop being Muslim when I was about 11 years old, and I think the reason why is because, in my opinion, what I observed and what my mother observed, you know, that it was a very sort of male-driven, patriarchal sort of religion. And she just had enough of it. Like, she told me stories about, like, she went to a Muslim high school, and girls sort of got not forced into marriage, but very coerced into marriage at really young ages and stuff like that. So we just got out of it, and yeah, and I was happy because the only thing I really knew about my religion at that age is that I wasn't able to celebrate Christmas, and Santa Claus didn't like me, and I'll talk about that later in another video. But okay, so from the age of 11 until I ran away, I pretty much didn't have any religion. And when I ran away into my godma's home, and I was like pseudo-adopted, she was a Christian. It was a religious household, and I wasn't forced to become Christian. I made my own decision because I meditated on it and I thought about it to become born again. And then I was a born again Christian for some years and very heavily involved in the church as a youth leader and all that stuff. And then I left the church for my own spiritual reasons, and I'm still very much on a spiritual path. But I'll talk about all that in another video. So next, so a handful of years ago, I dated a guy who was 18 years my senior, almost like double my age. Yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna admit, I used to have daddy issues, like, for reals. Like, I used to, like, not date anybody who was, like, didn't have any gray in his hair. Like, if you didn't have gray in your hair, you wasn't sexy to me. Like, I was like, 40 and up, please. So I thought he was everything. But trust me, ladies, like, it doesn't matter how old they are. Men are usually just emotionally stunted at 12 years old. This is how it goes. No, I'm just kidding. Now that I'm older, I definitely don't have that issue anymore. Maybe because my dad is back in my life, or maybe just because I'm older and I realized that didn't work. Now I don't really, like, as long as you're not like that much younger than I am, I don't really care how old you are. I'll still date older guys, but I would still date guys my age. But back then, I would not date you if you're my age. I like 40 and up. That's how old you had to be. So I definitely was on like the daddy issue train. Yeah, so that was my 3-year open relationship basically. And no, it was not his idea. It was our idea. So I'll talk about that in another video. Next, some of you already know this, but I have been in a polyamorous relationship, and I've been in a 3-year relationship, open relationship that I just mentioned. So I don't know, I had to put that again. Anyway, that's there. Next, the next one is like I have like a really weird phobia, and I've had this my whole life. I cannot stand like fruit and dessert. Like it is, I don't know why, but it irks the fuck out of me. Like if it's like fruit cake, no. And if it's like a muffin with raisins or apricot or whatever type of fruit in it, for some reason it doesn't feel like it belongs, and it irks the crap out of me. And I have that kind of issue all the time. Like when something feels like is out of place, like it like literally fucks with my psyche, and I have to like scratch it away till it's gone. So I'm like that with food too. And I used to just tell people that I was allergic to raisins just so they wouldn't offer me anything with raisins in it, because it just like I don't know. I think when I was like a little kid, to me it looked like it was bugs in your food, and from that time on, like it literally like if you can chase me with a muffin raisin, I would run from you. Like it's a weird phobia. Anyway, next. Oh, I have been kind of paralyzed. I've been paralyzed for about 2 weeks. You might be asking, what? So if you've heard in my other video, I have hypoglycemia, and hypoglycemia can come with temporary paralysis. And I first caught a case back when I was a teenager, and nobody knew what was wrong with me. Nobody was giving me my potassium or anything. Nobody was like, no one knew. And when people have problems walking, people just think the worst, and no one was thinking of like the simplest of solutions, which is I'm missing something from my nutrition that I need. And it's not like I couldn't feel my legs or anything like that, but I literally couldn't walk. Like I literally could not walk for 2 weeks. I was rolled around in the hospital. I was rolled around in a wheelchair, and my godmom even had to help dress me and bathe me and everything. So it was a pretty scary time in my life, and it definitely made me appreciate people who are actually like paralyzed. So yeah, I'll talk about that in another video. Crazy. So next one is that I used to play the violin when I was little, and I was actually really good at it. My mom made me play the violin, even though I wanted to play the clarinet, because all the girls were playing clarinets, but she made me play the violin because she said it looked better on my college application. And I actually got really good at it, but it got really annoying because my mom would like make me come down and perform every single time she had friends over. And I stopped playing back when I was in high school because they didn't have an orchestra in my high school, which is really sad. Do I wish I continued playing? Not necessarily the violin. I wish I would have moved on to the cello, because I think it's sexy as fuck when girls got cello between their legs and they're like playing the cello. And so yeah, I wish I continued playing something. I keep saying I'm going to pick up the guitar, but you know how that is. You know, it never happens. Anyway, next, I'm vegan. I am vegan. I went vegan like 4 or 5 months ago, and if you're wondering, I am still vegan, and I love being vegan, and I'll talk about that in another video. So next is I used to be a cam girl, and if you don't know what a cam girl is, you know, those sexy girls who like sit in front of the camera and lick their lips and like do this sexy thing. That's a cam girl, and you pay her to do things on camera. And so I used to do that, but I was a dominatrix. I was a online dominatrix, so I wasn't just like your regular sexy cam girl. Like I had a whip and a strap on and everything, and I used to just order men and sometimes women what to do online, and I got paid for it. So yeah, you want to know more about that? Let me know. Next, I believe in aliens and ghosts and spirits and evil creatures and all those things, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. I believe in all that stuff. I believe in astral projection and lucid dreaming and like second and third and fourth dimensions. I believe in all that stuff. Like, to me, life would be just so boring if none of that actually existed. It really would be boring. And like, why would the universe be so fucking humongous if there was no other life out there? Like, I would be like, if that ever came to light that it really was nothing else out there, I would be so bored. I would be so bored with that. Anyway, next, I've been in a movie. So yeah, I went to LA because I was a theater kid. I was in theater for some years, the best theater ever, in Mosaic Theater in Michigan, Detroit. And so I came out to LA to act. And so I did background acting for some years, which is actually a pretty good job. Like, if you do consistent background acting, you can pay your bills in LA for sure. But I got banned from Central Casting, which is another story time. But anyway, so I did background acting for the movie Accepted. And that was like the best movie to be background at the time. The director was so kind to all the extras. Like, we got full face and hair and makeup every single day for like the whole summer, and oh my god, our craft services was like lobster and shit. And anyway, like he picked out a handful of backgrounders to get a line in a movie, and I was one of them. And because I never paid my SAG membership, I never made the DVD, and because like I got temporarily SAG for the movie, so it was fine. But you can't get into a SAG movie like DVD and whatever if you're not actually permanently SAG. So I never paid for it, so I'm not on a DVD. But my line was, I actually said a lot more than this, but they cut it all out, and my line in the movie was,
"What's what I want to learn?"
that was it. And you know, I've actually have a lot of cool memories from that, because I got some, like, that wasn't the first time I got like a little part in the show and a movie and stuff like that. So but that was like the only movie that I got a line in. So yeah, accepted. So next, in high school, I was the only, and I mean only, goth grunge black girl. Like, yeah, the only one. This is basically what everybody was like into their labels. Like everybody was into Tommy Hilfiger and Timberland boots and all that stuff, and I was rocking like my big ass platform leather black strappy boots, and I had my big grungy baggy green pants with us all ripped up at the bottom, and my t-shirt with my baggy flannel. But then I had really short hair, and I slicked my hair back, and then I would put like silver lipstick on or blue lipstick on, and that's what I was rocking like all day every day, and I loved it. But I got like like I literally had black girls come up to me and say, "We will take you shopping," because like that's not how black girls dress and whatever. But like when I was a kid, like I was kind of like in the mindset of like, you don't know it yet, but I'm a genius. You'll get that when you get older. Just gotta mature a little bit. I don't know. I didn't understand why everybody decided to look the same. Like I was like, why did everyone decide to wear the same? It's not a uniform high school, but everyone's wearing the same uniform basically. So I wanted to be different, and I'm glad I did. Of course, I look back at some of those pictures, and if I can find any, I would definitely show you guys one day. I know they're floating around somewhere. I am like, oh my god, look at me. But I'm glad I was that person. So you know, let your freak flag fucking fly. Yeah, I think because like I discovered Nirvana around that time. So yeah. Anyway, what else? I say inappropriate things. I love deep conversations, long walks on the beach. I'm a black girl who loves rock and roll and opera. I love film. I'm a fucking film buff. I love cinematography. I'm almost went to school for cinematography. I'm 5'4". I have hazel brown eyes. They change from light to dark. I'm love outdoorsy shit. I love kayaking, rock climbing, horseback riding, camping, all that bullshit. I want to jump out of a plane and go bungee jumping and swim to sharks. I love art, anything art. I love graffiti art. I love that shit. I was a theater geek. I already mentioned that. I love wild parties, but I also love intimate conversation with my friends. And last but not least, I used to own my own business in LA that I ran for 7 years. Went under after 7 years. But I ran it for 7 years, and I lived in LA, and I took care of myself, and I was a boss bitch. So yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. That is my top 20 or 30 or whatever. How did you like it? Do you have any questions about anything I said? Do you want to go into detail about any of my top 20s? If you want to make me a separate video of any of my top 20s, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share this video, please share it. It really helps, guys. And thank you guys for getting me to 1,000 subs. I really do appreciate it. I know that it's really corny when YouTubers say this, and sometimes maybe it sounds insincere, but honestly, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you. If you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful, crazy game called life, please subscribe, and remember to hit the bell if you want to get the notifications. That's it, guys. Thank you from Live, Love, Life, and Travel.